I mean, it was cute but sad, but... And then it happened. Like, a couple years later, but it happened, and yeah. Oh my gosh, he did an end-of-year project at school. And he kind of summed up his school year, and yeah, he mentioned tongs. Don't watch dogs that might have been what it was. Something like that. I'm not sure. It was one of those. I know there's a few movies about doggos out there. I don't remember the exact name of the one that they watched. Maybe, I don't think it was a dog's perp. It was sad. There's no rhyme or reason how I'm stitching this right now. Also, do y'all want this closer to the camera? Your choice. Just let me know. I can lower the camera. Hi, Java. What do I want for dinner tonight? It's not quite dinner time, but what do I want? Hi, Maple. She comes over, hits the play button, and then looks at Java. Wants to play with Java. Poor Java. The edible kind, right? I do have a chicken and rice burrito out there. I had spaghetti adios for lunch, so I don't really want those. I do have chicken noodle soup. It is a good day for soup. I know, I need to wait until Hubbers gets home, though, because sometimes he makes food and makes me food with it. When he gets home. Java, get out of my backpack! You just jumped in my backpack. I can't wait to get the new one. Bought cord covers for the kids' computers because I don't think it's Maple chewing on cords because I think more cords would have been chewed up, but something chewed on a cord. So I figure if I'm gonna let her run through the dining room next, we gotta protect stuff. She doesn't chew on wood, which is good. Also, I have to measure the prophetic poppy? The flower one that I did so that I can get the right size frame so I can post it for sale. Like, I know I say I'm gonna give away some of my stitches, not all of them. Gonna play? Give me a toy. She wants to play with Java. It's so cute. I think it's funny that she thinks he knows what that button means. Like, she knows, because if she pushes the button and looks at me, I'll grab a toy. Did you really? Heck yeah, Jody. Wait, are you doing the Towards a Fleece? Hi, Starry Star. How are you? I hope all's well in your corner of the world. Aw, thank you. I can't take credit for the design, but the stitching is all mine. It's an amazing design. This is a design from Urban Stitches. Oh gosh, I just took that stitch out. Oh yes, do not get your hubbies cold because 0 out of 10 sharing is not caring in that point. Just wanted to spend. I think you can make up your own rolls. Aw, that's nice of him though. Heck yeah. I give kudos to your hubby. 10 out of 10, he's a keeper. Be gone, demon. To the cold. Not the hubby. I have a voicemail. I'm not checking the voicemail. Too late to return him? Good. His parents wasn't even mad. I mean, have you tried? May have asked on occasion. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. I think after stream, I think I might be spinning. Pretty sure. What do we think? Good idea? Yay! Yay. And honestly, even though I already had ordered from that shop, right, for the teal and copper, I was expecting it to actually be delivered today. Yes, will. Fine, twist my arm a little harder. A little harder, don't break it though. So I did start Starry Star, the drama from that Etsy shop is gonna continue until I hear a yes or no about whatever happens. But somebody else left a 1-star review and she hasn't responded to it. Yep, the latest update is they are still investigating. I'm wondering if she can't respond. Sassa Cass, we just saw your stitch 27 point something %. I approve. There's not. But I'm wondering if they're doing a thorough investigation to see it, like, how many times things got lost? Or how many times she pestered other people? Gosh, that was a lot. Everybody shouting Sassa Cass out! Yes! How far did you get today? How far? And how amazing. Oh yeah. Yeah, but also, like I said earlier, there was a review left yesterday, and I immediately messaged Jody. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's another one! And she can't respond to it. Or she hasn't responded to it yet.
All hands,
All hands on deck! Para! Hello, you amazing person! How are you? How was your stream? And I see everybody coming in here. We got pickup notes, Para. I saw Just Flyer and Craft a Simple Life and Cyanide and everybody else. Hello, welcome on in. And there's Cap, Triple Agent. Hashtag I approve. But hello, welcome on in, everyone. If by chance you don't know me, right? All the friends in one place! Want to hug everybody as long as you accept the hugs. But if by chance you don't know me, hi. I'm Zakayla, Zach, Mama Zach. Call me dude, it's alright, I will answer. So just about anything. We are a PG-13 stream. What does that mean? Mentality of a teenager. Sugar Troll, hello, how are you? How's it going? I'm a variety crafter here on Twitch. Variety crafter, I do a large variety of mainly 5 arts. Sometimes not 5 arts, but mainly 5 arts. Cody Doty, hello, how's it going? I hope all's well in your corner of the world. I'm not a flat earther, just throwing that out there. And I don't mean to offend anybody that may be. Most houses have corners. Most buildings have corners. So there's a corner somewhere near you. But yes, I'm a variety crafter. I just enjoy making all the stuff. My main thing here would be, I would say, crocheting mainly amigurumi, but I also have no idea what I'm doing here. Whoa. Counter cross stitch was my gateway craft. I almost said drug. Literally the same thing in this case, but gateway craft when I was 5 years old. From there I learned how to do crocheting, sewing by hand and by machine, embroidery by hand and machine, knitting and all this other stuff. I don't know. I learned a lot. Why? Because I like making stuff. But on top of just liking to make stuff, I will also, as long as I'm okay and comfortable, I will show other people how to do something if they need a little help. Stream was good. Struggled through despite mega tired. Ah, made some good progress on the pride shawl. Heck yeah. Officially have 1 row left, but we'll have to do another repeat as you have too much yarn left as cake is longer and thinner than the one the pattern. Okay. Gonna raid and run. No, that is perfectly fine, Parrot. Love your face. Thank you so much for bringing your friends here. I highly appreciate it. Once you craft, you just can't, right? And Jess Flyer, thank you for that follow. That was a little delayed because that came up like wicked late. What? Hold on, my puppy's ripping something up. I have a 4-month-old Bernedoodle. Oh, thank you. That is very strange. Final Puppers is checkbook. That was funny. That was cute. Ooh, giveaway ticket! Yes. I approve. So we are working on a coffee guide design from Urban Stitches. It's amazing. So far, I'm loving every stitch I've put into it, even the ones I had a frog. No, actually, I did not like doing that. But so far, it's looking pretty good. I keep forgetting what colors I've used for different aspects, though. So it's like playing Let's Match! I am more than half done, I think. Not sure. Because I can't track it through Pattern Keeper or Markup or anything because it's all backstitching and those apps don't allow that. So that's fine. It's perfectly normal, right? Okay, she's got something else. Being bad right now. Hers, that's okay. Never mind, it was hers. She's like, but Mom! Or she rips that up. I had to pick that up. Because I knocked that down. That's my handbook for work. Well, my union handbook. She is a mini Bernedoodle. Yep. 81 books on your wish list? Need more. Oh gosh. She's only 4 months old. She's adorable though. I love her so much. You want to see her? I can go get her. She's literally in the living room with me. Although, I'm telling you, she was so stinking adorable this morning. So, my kiddos run. Cross country and track. So, on Saturdays, I get my booty up out of bed earlier than I want to. And I take them down so that they can train, right? Yeah. Yeah. I put her harness on her. Come here. She's gonna run. I gotta go catch her. I don't know why she does. But, so I put her harness on her this morning, and she grabs her leash, and she's like, let's go. But, oh, what's this? Oh, you can put it down. But this is my maple. Oh, Daddy's home. Daddy's home. She needs to go see the daddy. She doesn't run. I mean, she wants to. Okay, go on. Go get Daddy. Hovers just got home. That's why she wanted to jump down. She's so cute. She's so adorable. She's so loving. I love her so much. Did you get her? Yeah, she's so I got the harness on her, and she came over, stole the leash, and went and dropped it by the gate. She wanted to go. You blame her? Did you get Daddy? Not enough. Don't bark at him. Told you, not enough. No, not enough. Well, she loves everybody. There's a ranking system. I'm number 1, Hubbers is number 2. And then the kiddos are all, like, out there. No, we went to the Village Green. Yeah, she went for about a mile walk with me. Dogs are, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. And my next door neighbors, kids' friends, keep trying to buy her off me. No thank you. You're not buying my dog off me. I dislike people like that. What are you gonna do with a puppy? You don't have a job. You can't get a job. Yeah. Sorry you got stuck at work. I know I didn't do it, but I hate when you're stuck at work like that. I know. Oh. That was quite the drive then. Yeah. Yeah, trying to buy my dog. Yep. Probably. She wants to play with you. Wait, did she really bring a toy?
No, it's not a toy.
What is it? Give me my slipper back, you weirdo! Oh, she, found her textbook. Ripped up there. Oh. She came over, hit the button to play, and stole my slipper. I love you. She's such a good puppy, though. She is. And she's only a puppy, and so she barks on occasion. Because she is learning to... I'm not letting you play with my slipper. You might have to go potty. I might have to take her outside quick. Mousy! Maple stole my slipper. That is all. Hi, Mousy. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope all's well in your corner of the world. I might have to take her outside quick. But she wanted to go for a walk so bad this morning that, yeah, she stole the leash after I got her harness on. Just woke up from a nap. Heck yeah. Here, let me take her outside quick. What's that? Making food? Okay, go make food. Get ready to go to a girlfriend's birthday party on a boat. Awesome. Heck yeah. I don't know if she actually has to go. I'm just guessing because she keeps hitting the play button. And sometimes she confuses the two. Mousy, I got a bunch of fiber that I delivered. And it's good fiber. It's not like the crappy fiber from the other lady. Do you want to see it? I'll show it. First, I believe Dueling Needles bought this one. I'm on a boat. I mean, so this one's from Dueling Needles. I got like 5 of these Rolags, and they're so pretty. And I bought Cloud Gray to ply with. They're so pretty. They're so pretty. I love them. So I got Cloud Gray to apply. And I got my Copper Angelina in for the one that did not come with any. And she sent me... Maybe the girl took off with it, but okay. She sent me a little packet of citronella colored. And it's really pretty wherever it went. I got so much stuff on me. Oh, right here. And look at that. It's so pretty, the color. Up against my dark shirt. It's so pretty. This is how you get somebody to come back. You know, a little sample, just a little flavor. I don't remember seeing this color on her site when I got this. Ooh. Sugar Troll, thank you for that follow. I appreciate it. So that's how you get somebody to come back. And then we gotta decide. We gotta decide what we're sending to Jody. So this is one of them. This is 4 ounces. This looks like a lot more than 4 ounces. This is 100% merino, and it's called Yeet. Look at that. That is beautiful, and I love the little spots of white. Oh gosh. Well, I'm glad you found me. I appreciate it. Right? Right? It's so pretty, too, and it's soft. And then... Where's the back? I lost one. I'll find it. Then there's this one. I love this because in every package and all of it, it has a card. Merino, Sari Silk, Viscose, and Angelina. It's 2.7 ounces. And, look at the color. It's red and pink with sparkle. It's got, like, red Angelina in it. So that's another one. And this one here actually sent me this, you know, as a bonus, some samples, right? She sent me samples of hand-dyed something. Hand-dyed silk Noel? And honestly, I bought a blending board. So I'm gonna keep all these samples that I get, because this is actually clean. Well, get me a toy. And everything, right? I'm gonna spin a lot of samples when I get them. And it's so soft. Get me a toy. Okay, then we got 2 more Rolex. And where's the bat? What did I do with that? I lose everything. My table's a hot mess. I thought it was on my table. However, it's... Okay, so then... There's this one. This is Rambouillet, Faux Cashmere, and Sari Silk. It's fuchsia, purple, and blue. Like, this is amazing. It's just how it's curled up like that. So you can spin it into wool, pulling the side. So this is a Rolog. Then the first one I showed off, this one is a braid. Because it looks like a braid. Then I have a bat. What did I do with it? I put it back in the bag. Oh, where did I put the bag? I have no idea. Oh, definitely. So there's this one. No, the braid is not already yarn. So there's this one. This one's pretty. What did I do with that? Oh, it's right here. I just ran over. I do have one more thing of Rolex. And then this one here is Electric Heart Bat. It's Corridal, Faux Cashmere, Firestar, and Angelina. And look at this. This is a bat. And it can unfold more, but I don't want to unfold it because I'm putting it back in the bag. But it's so pretty. Now, and I have a blending board. Yep. Buy it like that and then spin it. So then, and Mousy, I think you'll like this. So I got this. Right, this was the first one I ordered from this place. Right? So with that one, I got this to pair up with it. So I'm going to do a single, and then ply them together. Longer blend, yeah. So I can't wait. Jody's like, you have more bobbins. I know. Yes, I do. I'm not as confident as other spinners. Excuse you. Okay, I'm gonna take her outside. And I lost the other bag. Yeah. But I will be back. Yeah, everyone has to start somewhere. I have 2 successful spins. This is my latest spin. Look at that. It's so pretty. I love it. It's turquoise. I'm gonna make a pair of fingerless gloves with it. It's not perfect, but it's pretty even. And it's so blue. So this, at one time, was like the braid. Yeah. So I gotta run Miss Maple outside. I'll be right back in a few minutes.
got drunk and ended up at your place.